Welcome to Aslan Speaks, episode 28, Overcoming Heartbreak. Yes, guys, it's one of the toughest subjects to talk about. Even for me, it's a tough to talk about. But for some reason, spirit, my soul was guiding me to talk about this today. So I want to talk about heartbreak. The reason I decided to talk about this subject is because pretty much every human on this planet has gone through some form of heartbreak in their life. You know, like it's one of the most common things that people go through, because in the end, we are energetic, emotional beings or humans with feelings. And one of the common feelings is to find affection or love or some type of feeling for someone, like maybe romantic. And we have those feelings, but sometimes those feelings inside of us lead to heartbreak. You know, I recently went through a little heartbreak myself just recently, and the pain you feel when you're going through that heartbreak is extremely painful. But like for me, I just recently went through this, and then like I was reflecting on it, I'm like, why am I feeling this heartache? Why am I feeling this pain? And it's because I genuinely like this person. And for me, I don't really like that many people. You know, I've been on many dates. You know, and I've had many pursuers. You know, you may see that I have an animated face, but I'm quite attractive, at least in my opinion. And I've had many pursuers. You know, and but what I go for is yes, beauty and looks is awesome. You know, I like to be physically attracted to somebody, but I go for more of the soul or the spiritual connection that I feel with someone. And this last person, I really felt energetically or like a soul connection for some reason. And that's what really sparks my fire inside me, is like a soul connection. You know, not just a physical connection, but like a soul connection. You know, I was really looking forward to seeing where it went. But sometimes things don't work out, you know, and for me, it just didn't work out. There was a lot of red flags, and but I don't want to go too much into it, but I was reflecting on it. I'm like, why am I feeling this hurt? You know, it's one, because I really like this one. You know, I really wanted to give this particular person an actual effort, because most relationships that I enter into, I don't really give them my all. I hold back 90% of myself, you know, and this one I was willing to not wear my armor, to be vulnerable. I can't even say that word. Vulnerable. I still can't say that word. I was willing to take down my walls, so to speak, and you know, open my heart up a little bit, because usually I guard my heart like a ferocious lion, you know. But this one, you know, it slipped away, you know. But upon dealing with this like hurt and heartbreak, I was like, why am I dealing with this? And then my spirit was like, maybe I'm going through this experience for a reason, to help, well, one, to learn to deal with my own heartache or heartbreak even better and overcoming it, but two, to help others in their life overcome heartbreak or heartache. So I decided to turn a negative experience in my life into a positive one, because even though my heart was shattered and crushed, yes, that's what it felt like. I felt like my heart was shattered and crushed. Even though I was let down, even though I was disappointed, I was inspired to create this video to help you who may be watching this, or to help others go through their heartbreak or heartache. You know, and this last one, I didn't even know her that well, you know, and I still don't know her that well. I just felt like there was some type of energetic or spiritual connection or soul connection. You know, I didn't even know, knew of her for months upon months, but we just recently starting to get to know each other. But I just felt there was something more, but it could also be my own mind adding to it more than there really was. You know, sometimes we do that when we try to court somebody or date somebody. We think that they like us more than they really do. Or you may tell yourself that, hey, there's a connection there, but really there ain't. Sometimes we are our worst enemy. So I wanted to help others, guys. That's my goal, is to help you guys, you know, and turn up, you know, a negative experience just recently. But I've had many heartbreaks, guys. But long story short, I just wanted to share this experience with you guys to help help you. So for those who may be watching this and don't really know what heartbreak is, in some circles, heartbreak is known as a broken heart, also known as heartbreak, or also known as heartache. These terms, broken heart, heartbreak, heartache, is a metaphor for intense emotional stress. And getting really tongue-tied for some reason today. I've been dealing with a lot of my own struggles in the last couple of days, and like mentally, emotionally, I'm kind of spent. But I'm trying my best to get through to this video. So those words, heartbreak, heartache, broken heart, they're metaphors for intense emotional stress or pain one feels and experiencing great and deep longing. Like you know, like when you're longing for someone, you want to be with someone, and then they don't return that affection back. It's painful. It's an intense emotional stress. It's intense emotional pain. This concept is across culture, like it's across many cultures, and it's often cited or talked about in reference to an unreciprocated, yeah, that word's tough for me to say, or lost love. So like unreciprocated, like meaning they're not returning your affection. And when they don't return your affection back to the way you want or to your standards, it fucking hurts. Oh, sorry. Speaking my truth a little bit, you know, it does, dude. It feels like you got hit by a truck. You know, like I'm an empath, and so I sense energy more than most, you know, like because I spent years of awakening and in tuning, you know, and developing my psychic abilities or my higher senses. So I feel energy or people way more stronger than normal. I wish I was, you know, the old me 10 years ago where I didn't feel that type of energy, and where I was more numb to it and I didn't realize what was going on. But now that I developed my empath skills, it like when I go through a relationship or dealing with people, it's, for me, it's 200 times more intense. And and then so that the anxiety or that depression or that pain that one feels, for me, it's 200 times amplified. And so it sucks, you guys, it really does. But going through that, it's rough, you know, heartache, heartbreak, and, you know, broken heart. It's rough, guys, and I feel your pain. If you're watching this and you're going through it, it's rough, you know. A failed romantic relationship can be extremely painful. You know, sufferers or people who are going through this have a broken heart and may succumb to, like I stated earlier, they may get feelings of depression, anxiety, and in more extreme cases, they might even have post-traumatic stress disorder, like PTSD. That's what they call it. Where, you know, I've suffered from this in the past, where because of my post-traumatic stress disorder, I wouldn't even want to even try to put myself out there. I was too afraid to put myself out there because I couldn't go through. Yes, I couldn't go through or bear trying to get my heart broken again. I didn't want to feel that shattered, heartbreaking piece. I didn't want to go through. I was so fearful of going through it. Hey, my heart got shattered in like glass in a million pieces, and then I have to deal with that pain and that emotion again, and pick up all those pieces and like glue them back together and try to make my heart whole. Because it's hard because when you have a broken heart, you don't feel whole, you don't feel complete, you feel broken, and it sucks. It really does. It's freaking painful. You know, so now heartache, you know, so I talk about briefly about the pain about it, but now heartache and heartbreak can not only be caused by failed romantic, like, so there's many causes of it, but it could, like, the main majority common reason that heartbreak is caused is by failed romantic relationships, or a failed relationship that didn't return your love or your affection. Like the feelings you put in, they didn't really put the same feelings back. But they could also be from not only failed romantic relationships, but failed friendships. Could also be a death, like maybe a family member or relative passed away, or a family pet passed away. That could cause also heartache and heartbreak. But today I want to focus more on the failed romantic relationship aspect. So basically, in my opinion, heartache occurs when you lose something or someone you love, or someone you have deep feelings for. So I'm going to repeat that. Heartache is caused or occurs when you lose something or someone that you had great feelings for, or that you loved. And trust me when I say this, guys, heartbreak is not fun. I repeat that because it's not a fun ordeal to go through, and I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I've been through heartbreak many, many times in my life. I've experienced family members and close friends who passed away suddenly, and that just tore a hole in my heart. And I've also experienced many failed romantic relationships, because you don't find the one, like your twin flame relationship, until you go through other relationships. So you might have heartbreak, but how do you deal with the heartbreak is the crucial, because if you don't know how to deal with the heartbreak or avoid getting your heart broken in the first place, then it could cause just more havoc in the future. So going through all this hurt and pain was extremely tough for me. And believe me, when my heart breaks, when my heart broke, or when I went through heartbreak, it's like the worst pain that you can go through. I'd rather get punched 100 times in the face. And you're talking to a guy who have experienced being punched in the face, or being punched his whole entire body over 100 times. So I know that pain. When I was younger, I was dumb, and I was like getting involved in the gang life, and I was jumped by 20 people into a gang basically, and it was punched on every surface of my body by like over 20 people, even on the bottoms of my feet, guys. And yeah, that hurt, and it sucked, and it was painful, but not as painful as heartbreak. So in my opinion, heartbreak is like being stabbed over and over again in the heart with an invisible knife. And I really take the physical pain than over the invisible pain. I remember one time, yes, I remember, I'm trying to stay positive, guys. That's the key, is trying to stay positive when you're going through this ordeal. Because if you let the feelings of sadness and depression and anxiety and the torment of this pain overtake you, you're just going to go down a rabbit hole, or a hole that, and you keep going down and down, and you're digging yourself so deep that some people don't come back from. That they don't even have, they dig themselves so deep with the heartbreak into a hole that they don't have the strength to climb back out and be themselves again. So I'm trying my best to put on a positive spin, but it sucks, guys. It really does. I remember one time I had these really strong emotions for a female friend of mine, and me and her were pursuing each other romantically, and in the end it just didn't work out. This happened to be in my early 20s, where I met someone that just I felt head over heels for her, and I never felt like that for someone in a really long time. And in my early 20s, I felt head over heels for this person, and she did too at first, and we pursued it, but in the end we just had too much. We were young and dumb. I made mistakes, she made mistakes, and it just didn't work out. But I remember that particular relationship, it caused heartbreak. And that heartbreak in me set me spiraling out of control. I turned to smoking weed. I turned to drinking. I did everything to numb my pain. I basically lost the will to live at that time. Like, I didn't care much about my health. I didn't care. I just wanted to numb the pain. I remember one night, yeah, I'm old enough now and I'm mature enough to talk about this, but I remember one night, I'm a man. I was taught not to cry, and I don't cry. But, you know what? I'll share this experience with you guys, because if it could help you, then it's fine. So that particular heartbreak that I was going through at that particular time, one night I cried myself to sleep for hours upon hours. Like, I cried, laid in my bed, I felt everything. I felt depression. I felt intense sadness. I felt anxiety. And I cried and cried, and I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. And when I was crying, I felt my heart literally break. Like, literally, guys, I was laying in that bed, and I felt my heart literally break. I felt like literally I could feel my heart beating in my chest, and then my heart literally stopped. Yes. And it's like, what? If your heart stopped, you would be dead. But basically, I really felt this, guys. This is not me exaggerating or trying to, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth from my heart, guys. And at that point, my heart was beating, and then it literally stopped for a few seconds. I could literally feel my heart just stop. It wasn't beating for a couple seconds, and then my heart, then literally I felt this intense pain, like physical, like pain, like it literally felt someone like stab me in my heart. And that was like, to me, that it felt like my heart literally broke. Like my heart literally ripped into two at that point. And there is scientific proven that people who've gone through intense heartache can physically stop their heart, or it can physically cause a heart attack. Yeah, I don't know what happened in my experience. Like, I felt like, but I ended up being okay afterwards. It took me a couple days, but I felt fine. But that's what I felt, and scientifically proven that a heartache or breaking someone's heart can physically harm them. So I explained to you guys these intense feelings one goes through when they go through heartbreak. Now I want to give the reason I'm doing this, I want to give a warning to those who caused the heartbreak. So for those, because let's be honest, we're all human. So in our life, yes, we've gone through heartbreak, but we also may be the person that causes the heartbreak onto others. And I want to give a warning to those so that you're mindful. Let me repeat that: to be mindful of what kind of pain and hurt you may cause to somebody else. To be consciously aware that you may be hurting somebody else, physically and emotionally, by your actions. I just want to point that out because I see so many people who string people along. Because, like, for example, I used to work as a bar back / bouncer in a bar. And I would see so many people just string other, like, opposite sex along. Like, they would have 20 other people, and they'll be fucking sorry, my language. I don't know if that's good on YouTube, but they'll be hooking up with three other different people, but not telling other people about it, and then pursuing other people, and then they're not realizing that their actions eventually are going to cause heartache and pain and hurt to somebody else. And that's, like, I don't know how a human being can consciously be aware that if they're consciously aware that they're doing that to people, or that just hurts my soul. So I just want to be aware of that, so that you learn that, hey, your actions have a cause and effect, and by you stringing somebody along, you may cause them heartbreak. You may cause them intense pain and hurt and sadness, depression and anxiety. So if you don't think you're gonna actually pursue that romantically, or it's not gonna work out between you, break it off right away before it turns into intense heartache and heartbreak. So like I explained earlier, most heartbreak occurs when someone you're dating or pursuing a relationship usually breaks up with you, or puts you in the friend zone. Have you been put in the friend zone? I have. For those who are pursuing a romantic relationship, or pursuing a friendship / see if it turns into something more, most people know if they find another person attractive or not. So within seconds, or within going out with a person on a date or two, they know if they want to sleep with you. They know if they want to kiss you. They know if they want to hug you. They know if they want to cuddle up next to you. So if they don't see yourself dating, so they know this. So all I want to say is this: if you don't see yourself dating or being romantically involved with someone, don't lead them on. Don't let them think that there's a chance if there's not a chance. Don't try to flirt with them and give the other person hopes of being in a relationship with you if in the end you don't really have the feelings for them. Because all you're doing is leading that other person down the path of a broken heart. You're leading that person to heartbreak. So why pursue or lead someone on if you're gonna string them along, if you're gonna hurt them? And I can understand if you're consciously or unconsciously unaware that you're doing this, But if you're watching this video, I'm pointing it out that so many people are doing this to other people, and that's horrible. We call, so in like in my view, or in my terms, I call them players, where they're just playing a game basically, and they there are all these people that are attracting them. They're just pawns in their life, and they'll pretend to like this person, pretend to like this person, or just have a whole bunch of strings, and they'll see where this one goes. Or they may be hooking up with this person, and then hooking up with that person, and they're just playing the game. Hey, this person gives me this type of energy, and this person gives me this type of energy, and all it is, they're playing you. But stop. For those players out there who know that they're players, you are eventually leading someone down the path of heartache and heartbreak. And earlier in this video, I mentioned the type of pain. Also, we're all humans, so most of us have experienced the heartbreak. So if you're a player or someone who leads people on, think about your own heartbreak. Think about when you were sitting in your bed crying yourself to sleep, or when you felt that intense pain and hurt inside. Why would you ever want that someone else to feel that? Not to mention, there's a thing called karma. It's a universal law, cause and effect. For every equal for every I'm messing things up. So basically, it's cause and effect, and I did a video on karma earlier, so if you want to check it out. But basically, if you're causing heartache and pain and hurt to someone else, it comes back to you tenfold. If you are leading someone on, or you're a player and you just lead them on romantically or whatever you may do, you are reaping what you sow, and you might be played in the future. Think about that. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. That was what I was trying to say earlier. Law of karma, cause and effect. So what you do to others, it comes back to you. So be mindful of that. So why would you want to cause harm and hurt to somebody? That's all I want to say, guys. So, if you don't see yourself like romantically pursuing someone, let them know that. So another thing is, so if you see yourself only being friends, so like this person wants to be romantic with you and you just only see being friends, state it clearly. State not, let's just be friends. Because some people always say, let's be friends. And then the other person thinks, oh, friendship means that there's potentially something more. But so state it real clearly. Like, hey, I like you as a friend. I do not have literally say this. I do not have romantic feelings for you that way. And I do not see myself having affection or hooking up with you romantically, or making out with you, or physically showing you physically attraction. Because you got to state that more clearly and put out good guidelines, because if you don't, then the other person might be thinking, hey, there's a chance here because he or she still wants to be my friends, but maybe there could be something more. But set clear boundaries right off the bat. State what you want right off the bat. Do not just go with it, and then that you just want to be friends, but you don't say that to that person for 6 months, and then you know what? You cause that person 6 months down the road heartache and heartbreak. So set clear intentions. And for those people out there who are pursuing a romantic relationship with someone, and they tell you, so this is for the opposite now. For those people out there who are pursuing a relationship with someone and they just want to be friends with you, that means you should walk away. Yep, I'm going to speak the hard truth. If you're pursuing someone and you like them and you're starting to develop feelings for them, and they're just like, hey, I want to be friends with you. Right now, I don't know what I want, and at the moment, I just want to be friends. They're basically, you should just walk away when you can. Because when a man or woman, when a man or woman says, hey, I want to be friends with you, this is what it truly means, guys. And this, you got to take this, this is facts, guys. When they say, hey, I just want to be friends, this is what it truly means. This is when they say, let's just be friends, that's them sugarcoating it. That's just them trying to be nice to you. So they don't let you down softly. But what they're really saying is that they're not, what they really mean, let's just be friends, what it really means is, hey, I'm not attracted to you romantically. It also means that they don't have emotional feelings for you. It means that they slightly care for you. Yeah, they might care for you as like a friend, but they really don't care about you. Like they, on a scale from 1 to 10, their feelings for you or how much they care to you is like a 3. Like, and if if someone romantically likes you, their feelings for you are a 9 or a 10. So they don't really. So let's just be friends. Meaning, hey, I don't find you attractive. This also means like when they say let's just be friends, it's them saying, hey, I don't see myself sleeping with you. I don't see myself making out with you. I don't see myself cuddling with you. I don't see myself uh, hugging up on you. I don't see myself having romantic walks down the beach type of feeling. So most people when they say let's just be friends, they're basically saying that they don't plan on hooking up with you, or they're basically saying, hey, they're hooking up with somebody else at the moment, or hooking up with multiple people at the moment, and so they're just saying let's just be friends because they're putting you on the back burner. There's many, but basically, guys, when they say let's just be friends, if you're willing to be friends, then that's fine. But for me, I'm not. I've been down that path, and all it just leads to heartache. So when someone puts you in the friend zone, I suggest you walk away. That's my opinion. Just walk away. Try your best to walk away, because in most cases that I've seen, so in most cases that I've seen, when people are being friend zoned and sticking around, when they stick around and they end up developing even more feelings for that person, it ends up leading to more heartbreak. Sometimes when a man or woman also friend zones you, so this is another aspect of it, when they friend zone you, is because they may like you. They might like you. They might find you slightly attractive, or they might have some type of feelings for you, but they got 20 other people pursuing them. Their phone or their social media is getting hit. Especially if that person is attractive, is getting blown up or hit up by 20 other pursuers saying, hey, I find you hot, attractive, and they might be more smoother than you and have a better game, so they spit a better game, so they might get their hooks into the person you're pursuing easier or better. But basically, they might friend zone you because they're being pursued by 20 other people. And right now, their interests are those top 3 people on that 20-person list, and you're at the bottom. So that person says, hey, let's just be friends, because basically they want their cake and ice cream too. They're not just satisfied having their cake, but they want you as a dessert, as ice cream, and sometimes they friend zone you because you may be giving them like that emotional affection, and then they're getting that physical affection, but from somebody else. It's food for thought, guys. If someone's when you enter a relationship with somebody, you should be giving them the emotional affection, the physical, and both the emotional and physical connection. But if you're only getting one of those, like if you're being with someone and you only get physical and they're not being emotional, that means they're being emotional with someone else. So that person with their friends only wants their cake and ice cream too. So sometimes a person may get put into the friend zone because that person is basically pursuing and hooking up with somebody else, but at the same time, they want to keep you as a backup. So they put you on the back burner, just in case. Because they're afraid of getting their heart broken. So they're pursuing, hooking up, and pursuing others, and then putting you on the back burner just in case if it fails for them. Then you're their backup. Well, my friends, don't ever be somebody's backup. Know your value. Know your strength. I know my value. I know my strength. I'm highly sought after, like romantically wise. I may be physically attractive, but on a soul level, my soul is super attractive. That's what when people I enter a relationship or people try to pursue me, they say that that there's something special about me, and they just intuitively know that there's something unique and special about me. I'm not trying to say that to toot my horn, but know your value. Know that you're a gift from God, and if somebody wants to put you on the back burner, if somebody just wants to keep you, friend zone you, or keep them, basically keep you in their orbit, but not, it's just sad. And it's, so when you get placed in that friend zone, and if you're willing to do it, that's fine. But just know that you should never be second place to anybody. Know that you're a prize, that you're a gift. And if they don't, and somebody doesn't see that you're a unique, special gift and how special you are, then in my opinion, learn to walk away. It may be tough, but you summon all your strength and walk away, because otherwise it leads to heartbreak, guys. And that pain, it's rough. So trust me, my friends. Try to, you don't know me that well, but trust me, it's not fun being put on the back burner and being in the friend zone, because all that really means is that person, they care for you, but they don't want a relationship with you. It doesn't really, they don't really care that much about you when they friend zone you. If you're not hugging, if you're not kissing or sleeping with the person you're trying to date or dating, that means she or he doesn't really care that much about you. Because if he or she did, they'd be at least hugging and kissing you. They would show you some type of affection if they really cared about you. Because I've been guilty of it, where I pursue a relationship and see where it goes, but go on the first date or two, I just wasn't feeling it. So I wasn't kissing, I wasn't hugging them, I wasn't trying to sleep with them, because emotionally I wasn't feeling it. But the difference between me and most other people is when I'll give someone a chance, but when I on a soul energetic level don't feel it, when I don't feel a connection, I walk away myself. I end it before it becomes just something worse. Before I cause them heartbreak and cause them to have mad feelings for me, I break it up in a way so that I do not, I don't cause them greater pain. Whereas some other people drag it on and drag it on. But basically, if they're not hugging and kissing on you, within a couple of weeks or a couple of months, then they really don't care about you. You are like a 2 or 3 on their interest scale. And then if you're a 2 or 3 on their interest scale, then who are they really pursuing? They're pursuing that person that's in their life that's on that 8, 9, 10 scale. And so if they're pursuing someone else, really, their interest is somebody else, then they're really not interested in you. And that's just the hard facts. And you guys got to face those facts. It's hard to look at the truth when it's staring you in the face, because sometimes we want to be in denial. We want to be like, what if she likes me? I'm going to have that hope. But guys, sometimes that hope leads you to heartbreak. Another important factor to point out is if you're trying to pursue someone and they don't make you a priority, so if you're trying to pursue someone and they don't make you a priority, like time-wise, then they don't really care that much for you. Because if someone really cares about you, they would shift their schedule to make time for you, because time is valuable. And most people, if they don't really like you, they make up excuses. They don't make their time available to you. Because you know what's really happening? Here's the hard truth. They're making their time, they're making their priorities and availability out for somebody else. That's the truth. If they're, I just recently went through this where, like the person I was caring for would come hang out with me, but then she would go out to the bars. So I'm like, so if she really cared for me, she would spend that genuinely quality time with me, not go out and pursue something else. And that's what it is. Her interest with me was probably 3 or 4 or whatever. I don't know the truth. I'm an overthinker and I don't know everything. But but in the end, all that says to me, her interest was out pursuing something else than me. So if they don't make your time available for you, or even if they show you a little time, but like if they're out, like this is a big sign, guys. Like for me, like the one I was just recently pursuing, wouldn't spend quality time with me. Yeah, we would hang out for an hour or 2, but then she's going out all night long. And if you would be by their side. Even if, like, for me and her, there was a place that she would go and I would not go there because I didn't like that place. But if she really liked me, she would set aside time to go out to some place that we both were mutually worked for us. And she would spend the night and time with me. But she did it. So that means she's spending her night and time with somebody else. She's pursuing somebody else. Or but that's the sad truth of it all, guys. If they're not putting their time and energy and setting aside time with you, that means they're not really that interested in you guys. And so if they're not, just avoid it by walking away from that heartbreak. Another tall tale sign if that he or she's not really into you is this: they don't call or text you back in a timely manner. Because in our modern era, most everybody is attached to their phones. Most everybody has a phone in their pocket or within 10 feet to them, so they know when when someone they know when they get a message. They know when their phone rings. And if it's somebody that they care for and mutually respect and have affection for, they'll call you back and text you back in a timely manner. But if they don't really care that much for you, or like you're just kind of like a nuisance, or like you're friend zoned, they friend zoned you, then they don't hit you back consistently in a timely manner. You may text them, and then 2-3 hours later they text you back. Whereas someone who really likes you, they would text you back within 5, 10, 20 minutes. And this is like a consistent pattern. Because sometimes we all have times where we're not by our phone or we're working or something. But usually if they're consistently not responding back to you in a timely manner, they're not that interested in you. So save yourself heartache and walk away. So here are some signs that your crush, yes, here are some signs that your crush doesn't really like you that much or doesn't like you back. And guys, if you get a couple of these and a few of these stick out to you, it's time to walk away. So sign number 1, doesn't initiate or sustain communication with you. So they're not the one. If you're always the one reaching out to them, that's a sign that they're not really that interested in you. Because if they were interested in you, they'd be reaching out to you. Or they don't sustain communication. You may be talking, but then it just flatlines. Sign number 2 is not available for you. So like I said earlier, they don't make their time available to you. If they don't have, if they're not hanging out with you on a consistent basis, they don't really like you that much. Sign number 3, doesn't seem impressed by whatever you do. If someone likes you, they're gonna like whatever you're doing, no matter what. They're gonna put their energy and focus in trying to get to know you and your hobbies and stuff. But if they don't seem that impressed or interested in your life, that's just indication that they're not really that invested in you. Number 4, rejects your offers. So you may be offering, hey, let's go on dates. Hey, let's do this. And they'll be like, oh, I'm busy that day, or I can't do that, or I made plans. If they're constantly refusing your offers, indication that they're not that interested in you. Number 5, doesn't follow through on your dates or times you plan to spend together. So this recently happened to me where I made like a date to go on to go to the ocean with somebody, and we agreed to go do it, but then when the time came, nothing. That shows if they really like you, even if they're out all night long, staying up till 3 a.m, they would make sure that they would be up in the morning, even if they had 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and make their time and their presence available to go on that date with you. To see if they really cared. If they really cared and had affection for you, they would show up. For me, I show up. If I really care for somebody, I may be sleepy, hungover, not feeling that great, but I would show up if I really like somebody. So that's just a sign there, guys. If they don't follow through on the dates, or follow through, like when you make plans with them and they constantly flaking on you, that's a sign that they don't like you. It's time to walk away. Number 6, doesn't share personal stuff with you. Like they don't open up to you emotionally. So you may be sitting there and talking to them, trying to, connect with them, emotionally or feeling wise, and then they're really numb to you. They're not really opening up to you. All that means is they're not really feeling you. They're not really feeling you. They're not really attracted to you like that. And if they're not opening up to you, that means they're opening up to somebody else. Sign number 7, intentionally get sweet or flirty with someone else whenever you're around. So let's say you're going out and you're trying, even if you're friend zoned or even if you're not friend zoned, and you're trying to pursue someone, but yet you're going out with them, and yet they're showing like affection or flirty or being sweet with somebody else. That's a sign that they don't like you. Or when you're out in a club or something, your woman or man is not by your side and basically just out hanging out with other people, that's a sign that they don't really care for you. Because if someone who really cares for you, they're going to stay by your side. Yes, they may go talk to other people, but the majority of the night, they're standing by your side. They're by you because their presence is with you, not with other people. So it's just food for thought, guys. Number 9, they bring up hooking up with someone else in front of you. Somebody who truly likes you and cares for you, they will never, ever, ever say, hey, I just slept with someone so-and-so, or that I had a romantic relationship with so-and-so a couple weeks ago or whatever. They would never bring up hooking up with somebody in front of you because they like you, and they don't want you to like not be with them because they just recently hooked up with somebody or had an affection with somebody else. If they basically, if a man or woman says, "Hey, I slept with somebody or hooked up with somebody," even if they say I was drunk and didn't mean it, basically they're saying that to say to push you away. Subconsciously that's a way of them pushing you away. Hey, subconsciously that's the way. Let's just be friends because I'm sleeping with some other people. That's the sad truth, guys. And me, I see that a mile away when someone says that stuff. Lastly, ignores your messages. Like I said, guys, if someone really cares for you romantically and has feelings for you, they won't ignore you. They always will make time for you. So why do I bring up all this? Why do I bring all this up? Why did everything I just talked about this last 30, 40 minutes of this video? Why did I bring it all up? It's because I want to spare you from heartbreak. Why pursue or put your energy and time and into a relationship when you know that it will lead to being friend zoned or to heartache? So I suggest you run for the hills or part ways if you see a lot of these signs. If you see any of these signs, you got to reflect and say, hey, maybe if you see any signs, it's probably not written in the stars for you guys. It's these signs. If you see multiple of these signs in a person that you're trying to date or be with, it's a sign that they're really not into you. They don't really like you that much. When your soul or intuition starts showing you all these red flags, about that person you're crushing on, it's showing you don't ignore them. It's showing you that when all these signs, all these red flags staring, it's saying, hey, these red flags mean stop. Stop in your tracks and walk away before you get hurt. That's your soul and intuition saying, hey, stop before you're walking closer and closer to the cliff. And if you go any further, you're about to go over that cliff. So before your hearts get broken, walk away. Before you emotionally invest, don't invest anymore, walk away when you can. I know this can be difficult to walk away from someone you have feelings for. You may have that hope that they will come around and start actually liking you. Like maybe you think that thought hey, once they get to know me, if they get to truly know me, they're going to like me. Well, that hope that, here's the hard truth, guys. If they don't like you or have romantic feelings for you right off the bat or on the first date or two, then most likely they'll never develop romantic feelings for you. So save yourself from that heartache. Also, if you're able to walk away, you then can put your time and energy into someone else that may actually like you. So you're sitting there waiting for somebody else, being friend zone, you're waiting for that partner, that person to recognize that, hey, you're a true catch. But hence, while you're doing that, the person that could be your true love is sitting somewhere else in your orbit, and you're not putting any energy and time into that because you're sitting there wishing upon a star, hoping that this other person is going to like you romantically. Learn to walk away. Don't put your time and energy into somebody who doesn't give a crap about you. If their level of interest in you is not an 8, 9, or 10, and you're on the scale from 1 to 10, you're at a 2 or 3, it's time to walk away. And then you can pursue and put your energy into someone that actually does care about you. Trust me, guys, I've learned this the hard way. And so, lastly, before I end this, I want to put out some ways. Here are some ways to overcome a heartbreak and learn to heal a broken heart. Here are some ways, and I'm not expert on this, guys, because even me, it's hard to heal. Sometimes you'll never heal, or sometimes you'll heal, but it's easy that wound can be easily reopened. 1, avoid contact with the person or your crush for 60 to 90 days. avoid them. Cut them off. Learn to walk away. So for me, it's like once I walk away, I walk away. Why look back in the past? Because the past holds you back, guys. It really does. Number 2, don't romanticize or fantasize about the past. Let the past be the past and move on to the future. So often we'll sit there in our beds at night, be like, oh, I should have did this better. If I do this, she's gonna want me back. If I do this romantic gesture, she's gonna like me. Guys, cut men and women, cut it out of your minds. Here's the God honest truth. If she really liked you, or if he really liked you, you would not be laying in your bed alone at night fantasizing and romanticizing about them. Because in the end, if they truly had feelings for you and really had strong emotions and attraction towards you, they would be laying in that bed next to you. And you wouldn't have, because you would, that's the truth about it. They would be laying next to you guys. Number 3, fall in love with your life. Begin to work on yourself. Take your focus away from the past hurt and pain from your person that you loved or a person that didn't return your affection, and put the focus on yourself. Become your greatest version of yourself. And if you're interested in learning how to become the greatest version of yourself, there's an episode on this channel called Becoming the Greatest Version of Yourself. 4, forgiveness. Forgive them if you can. Like some of us, we hold on to that pain and hurt and we cannot forgive. But forgiveness can free yourself from emotional burden, emotional burden and anger that you carry around you. And I've learned this, guys. I had past romantic relationships that failed, and I would hold on to all this pain and hurt. And when I started walking the spiritual path, I realized to forgive them. And once I forgave, I felt so much better. I didn't energetically, I didn't hold on to that hurt and pain anymore, and I let it go. And it really helped me a lot. So try to learn forgiveness if you can. Number 5, focus on your dreams and goals. Put your energy and time into fulfilling your dreams and goals, guys. Number 6, speak kindly to yourself. You are your worst enemy. The way you think and feel about yourself can cause great damage. So always try to be positive. Guys, your thoughts and feelings are powerful. So if you're beating yourself up in your mind, and if you're dwelling on the heartache, you're going to cause more damage to yourself. So try to switch that heartache and pain and hurt, depression, anxiety, and switch it to love, and compassion, and positivity if you can. Try your best. I try every day to be as positive as I can be. Number 7, don't badmouth your ex, or don't badmouth the person that you had a failed connection with. Don't get caught up in the negative energy. Don't get caught up in that drama. Why waste your breath on that person anymore? Number 8, get out of your head. Stop overanalyzing. This is coming from a person that is an overthinker and overanalyzes everything. When I'm with somebody, I analyze everything they say to me. And then I think 10 moves ahead. Or I try to anyway. I fail though, but it's also a curse, overthinking. Stop thinking about that one who got away. Move on. It's time to walk away and move forward with your life. Number 9, follow your heart. Yes, follow your heart. Maybe begin to love yourself and start pursuing relationships where your love and affection is returned. My friends, this is the sad truth. Like, it's hard to look at, but if they're not returning your affection and they don't genuinely return the same feelings back to you, if they're not making you a priority of your life, they're not hugging and kissing on you romantically, then really they're not interested in you. And you're wasting your love, you're wasting your heart energy onto somebody that's not going to return it to you. And that's sad. It's a sad truth. But put your love, put your energy, and put your intense, energy into somebody that's willing to return that affection. Because in the end, my friends, it is their loss. It's not yours. So I'm going to repeat what I just said. In the end, it's their loss, not yours. They're losing out on a potential magical relationship. Not to brag, yes, not to brag, guys, but most of the romantic relationships that I've entered into, almost every time, pretty much every romantic relationship that I've entered into, pretty much every time the person, the woman ends up falling in love with me. Like, even if, they just, there's something about me, I don't know, they end up falling madly in love with me. But I can be tough to deal with. You know, some of them, like, they can't deal with my intense energy, and so they run for the hills. Some of them, they thought that the grass was greener on the other side. But through my experience in my life, so the ones that the ones that left me, yeah, they may have fell in love with me and everything, but some of them thought that the grass was greener on the other side, and what would happen is we would part ways. But like clockwork, a few months later or a year later, they would come running back to me, seeking my affection again, because they realized that kind of love that I was, like, that kind of love that I was, they realized the love that I had, or the affection that I gave, was way different and more special. And once they realized that they didn't have that in their life no more, that they came running back. They realized that other people that they were pursuing, it wasn't a magical connection. It wasn't uplifting and empowering. And then because they thought the grass was greener on the other side, they went and pursued somebody else. And then shortly, they realized that, you know, on the other side of that fence, it was cloudy and gray. And so they would come running back to me in my life. They would seek out the deep connection that I shared with them. So they would seek my affection again. And but for those who chose to hop that fence for that grass on the other side, guess what, guys? I didn't let them come back into my life. Because if they're willing to hop that fence once, they're willing to hop that fence twice. That's food for thought. If you keep constantly having a partner that you let back into your life, and you know, romantically or whatever, but you have to keep jumping the fence trying to see if it's better on the other side, they're going to do it again. Or if they cheated on you once, they're going to cheat on you again. That's the sad truth. So I didn't let them back. You know why I didn't let them back? Because I know my value. Guys, I know my value. I know my worth. And I just don't give it away to anybody that shows me a little or the slightest affection. I give my value and energy to a special person who is willing to match their value and energy with mine. So that's my suggestion. Don't give your value or your worth or your energy or your love or your affection away to just anybody. Only give it to somebody who you feel a deep, special connection with and is willing to put their value and their energy and time to match your own. Because that's the best I could tell you guys. So know your value, my friends. Know your worth. Reclaim your power. And for those who may be watching this video, and maybe you'll be watching this video and you're at this moment going through heartbreak and you stumble upon this video, know this. I've been in your shoes. Heartbreak is never easy to deal with. It's never easy to deal with. But learn to overcome it. Heartache or heartbreak is only able to take control over you if you allow it. So don't allow it. But with that, guys, I'm not all-knowing, and I might have missed some things on the subject. But heartbreak is painful, and I wish you the best to overcome it. But don't pursue somebody who's not that interested in you. And for those who are pursuing other people, and you know that you're not really that interested in them, don't string them along. Let them go, because otherwise you're just gonna. If you string them along, eventually you're just gonna lead them to heartbreak. I thank you guys. I wish you the best. With that, God bless and amen.